In this sociable report, we're going to take a look at a restaurant. The restaurant's name is Salt Dining and Lounge. Let's take a look. This is their website. Lots of information. They've got the basics, home, about us, obviously take online reservations. They've got an image gallery, which shows some images of the restaurant, which is great. They also got professional imaging done, which is a nice touch. They have an entertainment calendar. Entertainment calendar doesn't seem to be up to date. They don't really have any November listed, no events, but October they did. Maybe they've ceased to do events. Contact us page. So they got the basics. One thing I usually get rid of is this enter code here. Users don't like to see that, and sometimes they're hard to navigate. Gift cards are available. About us. Yeah, it seems to be a nice page. So let's move on to their Facebook page. So here's their Facebook page. They've got a bit of branding as well, logo. Now they've used the same image for both these here. So what I would have done is actually used a nice image of their restaurant. They've got some professional imaging that we did see in their gallery on their website. So they could have used a high-res imaging of their food, especially being a restaurant. So instead of duplicating this image over, I would have done that. Looking at what they've done, it looks like they've filled in most of the information that they need on Facebook, which gives the user a better idea of what they are, how to contact them, phone numbers, what's the hours of operation. They've got their photos, which is good, shows the user what they're doing. Let's take a look at reviews. So they have reviews set here. They're doing quite well. So let's take a look at the timeline here. So the timeline, it looks like the last post was September 5th. It's now October 29th. So it doesn't look like they've posted something recently. The time in between, so here's the 3rd. Here's the 2nd. August, so there was a month almost between there. So it looks like they're sort of scattered in their posting, and from the looks of it, it looks like when they have an event or a professional photographer come in, instead of doing 5 posts a week, it looks like they're sort of scattered there. So let's take a look at the reviews, which is very obviously important to a restaurant. So as I said, they are doing quite well. They have a bunch of reviews. It doesn't look like they're commenting on any of the reviews, which is pretty important. One person said that not answering posts on Facebook or LinkedIn or other social media channels is equal to not answering or replying to a phone call message. So it doesn't look like they're replying. And obviously you do have, as an administrator, the ability to do that. This one review looked like they got actually 17 people commenting on it. So interesting. So let's move on to Twitter. So here's the Twitter account. They did the same thing again here, same imaging as well. So they do have access to better imaging. So they could have left that image here and then, done something here. So posts, looks like the last post here was December 31st. So it's been 10 months since they've done a post. They've got a number of tweets. Not a lot of, they're not really following anybody back. They've got 400 followers, but they've only followed back 19 people. So that's something you'd want to do. People that follow you, you'd want to follow them or find some key people. They have favorited a bunch of tweets, which is good. They've got, let's take a look here. It's going to go up here, see if they're actually replying to some of the tweets that are out there. So these are up to date. And it doesn't look like, so people are talking about their business, but it doesn't look like they're replying or reposting that information that's out there. So so this is up to date. These are this year, but they haven't posted anything since December. So lots of stuff going on. So it looks like they really don't have someone managing their Twitter at this time. Google, obviously an important thing as well. So I searched Salt Restaurant Ottawa Ottawa being the town that they're in. They do have a nice, lots of information here. They dominate the Google ranking here, which is great to see. You know, they've got their information here, reservations, hours of operation. So they've taken a hold of their Google page. Some articles in the local papers. So they've got a nice mix here. They've dominated it. Being the word salt, if I probably put salt restaurant, I'd probably come up with a bunch of different, but I narrowed it down to the town they're in. No, they still sort of narrow it down, but they've got some competition, I guess, here in Toronto and some other towns. Let's move on here to Instagram. So here's their Instagram account. Lots of followers. A number of posts, 133. Here they're following a number of people as well. So here we didn't really see this on Twitter, but we do see it in Instagram. So they've got a bunch of nice pictures. Let's just see how current. So 7 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago. So it doesn't look like much has been posted in the last little while, but they do have a nice mix of imaging of food, imaging of staff, imaging of events that are happening. Something obviously funny. So it looks like they have a nice mix here. It just hasn't been up to date recently, but it does look good here. So let's take a look at Pinterest. So I tried to search out Pinterest account. It does not look like they have one. Pinterest is a very emerging market. They should have this, especially if they've got the images. So they should cross promote and put these there. So there was not an account for that. And let's take a look at Yelp. Yelp, obviously, because this is a restaurant business, so reviews are very important. So they do have reviews here. It seems to be doing quite well. They have taken a hold of their account. It does say, you know, when they're open, you know, business information that they have. So this business has realized that reviews and social media sites that are driven to their business are important. So instead of just ignoring it, they actually have taken a hold of it. So, and that is definitely key in this day and age. So this is our review of Salt. So some things that they could do is, again, change over their logo work. Obviously, answer information on Twitter. All the people chatting about their businesses, they could very easily have one of their key employees take hold of that. And there's a couple other few suggestions that we would definitely suggest to this business. But one is basically listening and speaking to your customer base.